What's cooking, Juventus fans? Welcome back to your old lady's favorite YouTube channel. Today is going to be a pack show. Like I said, it's going to be a long video, but make sure you stay tuned to the very end. I have some very important information that if you weren't there for the live yesterday, that I want to drop and get to you guys. So make sure you stay to the end of the video, but we have big news. Maybe Juventus is over here trying to reunite some besties. Maybe. We'll see. That's what Romeo Agresti is saying. Stick with us. We'll fill you in now. Ciao ragazzi, welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone. My name is Justin Sofro. Today, it's January 27th, 2022. It's a Thursday, and it's another big news day for Juventus in the Mercado and the future Mercado of Juventus for what the not just the midfield, but what the overall team will look like and the makeup of the team will look like going into the future. Maybe some big pieces to go along with Juventus really pushing hard on that goal of wanting to win Champions League and get back to winning Serie A. Before we do anything, make sure you go and hit that like button, smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. I appreciate everybody who's joined the channel lately. We continue to grow, and we really appreciate each and every one of you that have joined the squad that we have here. Also, if you haven't as well, make sure you hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. All right, I guess let's just go ahead and get into it. Like I said, stay tuned. Stay tuned to the end of the video. I've got some very important news to get to you guys, the stuff that we're going to do, what I myself am going to do, try to give back a little bit to us, our Juventus fans that follow the channel as well. All right, first news story up, and it's a big news story of the day. Well, this one will be a little bit easier. It's just some, minor details getting worked out, if you will. Romeo Agresti is reporting about Dusan Vlahovic, saying that Vlahovic already agreed to a 4.5-year deal at 7 million euros. It's now just finalizing things like commissions. The whole of Vlahovic's entourage is arriving in Turin in the late afternoon today. There are no problems. It's just a big deal, or it's just a deal. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. It takes time. Maybe what he means is the deal of getting Vlahovic signed is a big deal, so it takes time. He'll be in Torino this weekend. So as we know, nothing to worry about, guys. Vlahovic is going to be a Juve player, and that has a lot to do with what I'm talking about at the end of the video. Like I said, stay tuned. All right, let's move on to the next part because we got to get through all of these. There's a lot. Next one up is the other big name of the day, and that is Pogba. Romeo Agresti, who really is dropping some bombs today. Just bombs for Juventus fans to get you guys excited, to get you guys hyped. I know I am. Anyway, he goes in to say that Pogba in the summer, I say you have to monitor everyone. Pogba for January? No. But for June, we mustn't take it for granted that Juve can't get certain players. Juve has the money, and they spend it on worthy investments. And that's kind of where I'm going to go with this. What I'm going to say, and we talked about it on the channel, like we're guilty of it as anybody. And there's been some numbers and stuff floated around. But I'm going to say this. For now on, I'm not going to operate under the feeling that Juve can't afford players, right? I know we've been told that this is how how financially things are working. Yeah, you're in the red in some situations. You want to get back in the black, yada, yada, yada. What's most important is winning. Winning cures all ills, financially too, right? Well, here's how you're going to get it done, by adding players that can get you to the level you want to play at. Paul Pogba, to me, I feel like it's still certainly one of those players. Definitely something that if you bring him into this midfield, leaps and bounds better. You have Vlahovic, you got Dybala, hopefully. You got all these players, Chiesa coming back. You can push for something. You can push to try to win a Champions League, I feel like, with some of these pieces, if you are to retain the likes of De Ligt, whatever, along with that. Something also that Romeo Agresti put in there, I guess we didn't really do it because we're not really advertising for these people. But he also goes on to say, keep an eye on goal.com, which I'm guessing means, or Goal Italia, but I'm guessing that means maybe they have some news that they're going to break here in the coming days, but that's what he says, so we'll see. Don't worry, keep your eye on the Bianconeri Zone because we're going to keep you updated as soon as that news breaks, so maybe don't worry as much about that. Anyway, let's continue on, though. Now we got to talk about this. This is going to make Julian, if you're watching our lives, Julian Genotti, a little bit happy. He actually goes against what I believed yesterday, but Romeo Agresti is saying that Juve are keeping a close eye on midfielders, and I'm told from the Juve area that they will make a big splash in June. So I don't feel like denying the name of Frenkie de Jong. He has to be monitored. So I was trying to shut this down. I was like, there's no way. I was like, sometimes maybe I'm going to have to just give Genotti and his nonsense some credit. But he goes over here and gets these big names. Next thing you know, Erling Haaland is going to come in here and be a Juventus player as well. But we'll see. Jong will be another player to be monitored, which would be a big boost, obviously, for the midfield. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, but that's another name. We got Pogba, we got De Jong. What else we going to get, right? All right, let's continue on. The next story up is talking about Paulo Dybala. And that was a big talk about our live yesterday, the situation, the constraints around his deal. I'm getting that done. But Gazzetta dello Sport says that Dybala is on the radar of Manchester City, who are ready to make a 10 million net offer that would put Juve in difficulties. And Turin will first speak to the club, but there may be no agreement but there may be no agreement as has been taken into account. I don't know exactly. The wording is weird. I apologize, but what it means is basically no agreement has been taken into account yet. There we go. Weird wording. But anyway, that's how it stands right now. Manchester City could be another option. And I'm just going to say this again. It was a big topic. We talked about it all during the live yesterday. Go back and watch the live if you haven't already. My personal opinion is if you, and I know we have the vocal commenters here on the channel, and I appreciate your comments. I understand your opinion. I think you're dead wrong, but I appreciate your opinion. And I'm tired of arguing it at this point, honestly. But Paulo Dybala is an integral part of Juventus's future. No, you cannot just go and renew him and then try to sell him. That's disrespectful. That's not going to happen. If he wants to go, he's going to go for free. That's what's going to happen. But Paulo Dybala wants to stay at Juventus. He loves Juventus. He wants to be a part of Juventus for the future. There's some nonsense that got in the way with his agent. We'll talk about that in the next story that's coming up. But as it stands right now, Dybala is integral. If you were to lose Dybala right now, you bring in Vlahovic, but then you lose Dybala, who, as long as he's healthy, is an important piece of Juventus' attack, and also a creative striker, if you will. You'd be losing too much. It's too much. It'd be another big loss. One step forward, two steps back. Bring in Vlahovic and then losing Dybala. No, we cannot do that. Juventus cannot afford to do this. They cannot afford to lose him for free. So as it stands right now, Dybala is important, and I don't want to. That's how I feel about it. I know people disagree with me, but to me, that's the facts, as believed by Justin. We'll say that. Romeo Agresti, though, goes on to say that now for Dybala, Juve can finally talk to an agent registered with McKennie. It's a pretty sad reality. Dybala should have had a professional entourage. In my opinion, someone will have called Dybala, but even from the interviews, he has made it clear that he is waiting for Juve. So Dybala wants Juve, but all this nonsense that's been going on is because Dybala hasn't had a professional. What the hell is going on, right? How do you not have a professional, your agent? How is your agent not registered with McKennie? How does that even happen? How does that happen where you're with an agent who either, I don't know if it's, missed a deadline or whatever happened, or I don't know all the details and the intricacies that go along with this. I'm not a professional agent. But at the same time, how does that happen? How does that happen to cause all these issues and hiccups, especially when you want a pay raise? And I understand the pay raise, especially when you look at some of the players that Juventus has that are making almost as much money as he's demanding or really deserving. Let's just say that, not demanding. Anyway, hopefully all this will be behind us. Hopefully we won't have to worry about Dybala and he can be an integral part going forward, especially in the next couple of years. All right, moving on. Romeo Agresti, like I said, he's on a hot streak. He's talking everything. He's spitting hot fire. Dylon. I don't know if anybody gets that reference. Anyway, I'm too old. Anyway, he goes on to say, I don't believe that Juventus would let Kulusevski go to a direct rival, as in Milan, this month. Kulusevski has done very little so far. He's not worth what was spent. I don't see a great future for him in Turin with Allegri. He's a player with particular characteristics. I wouldn't be surprised if Kulusevski went out and Nandez came in. Again, this is just really talking about Kulusevski. It's unfortunate. It looks more and more likely that he may be on the move somewhere sooner than later. But again, when it comes to Nandez, and I'll just leave it at this, to do what? I just don't know. I don't value Nandez highly. I may be wrong. Again, I'm not a scout. I trust Julian's opinion and Alejandro as well more than mine, just because I'm a big fan of this and I enjoy being a fan. But when it comes to actually playing it or whatever, I'm not the guy who is the most versed, the most well versed, but also I played a different sport, right? But what I will say is Julian I try, like I said, Julian and Alejandro, I trust their opinion when it comes to this, and I had the same feeling without even talking to them. But I was like, why? Just why? Right? We'll see what happens with that. Going on, and let me make sure I didn't accidentally. Did I move on from here? Here we go. I think we're on the right one now. Yeah, let me make sure that's on. Okay. Nico Skira. Sorry, messed that up plenty of times before. Sorry, American. Anyway, goes on to say there is the option from Juventus to the departure of Kulusevski, also on loan with an option to buy. He has already declined 2 to 3 foreign offers. There are no vetoes from Juventus for a transfer to an Italian club. At the same time, though, I would still be nervous about sending him off to go to the likes of Milan. If he gets it going, if he finds a situation where he works out well, and I know I'm moving my head a lot, but at the same time, if he finds a spot, I would just hate, to me, that would be such a detriment. I really wish there were some deals when it comes to these transfers that if you loan somebody out, at least, if you loan somebody, they shouldn't be able to play against their own club. That's just my personal opinion. I know it may be nonsense, but that's just how I feel. But at the same time, we'll see. Then also, Alfredo Padula goes on to say that Juve must open up to a loan with option to buy for Kulusevski. They haven't done it yet. He has been proposed to Milan. There was also Arsenal, but Juve must convince themselves on that formula. So we'll see. But yeah, I think a lot of really it's almost how often outside of if you're PSG or maybe Newcastle now or whatever, or obviously Manchester City. How many of these clubs are able to really just go out there and just buy all of these players without getting them on a loan option to buy kind of deals? It's a different situation just because of the whole Pandy situation. Makes everything difficult monetarily for everybody, financially, and in the economy, period. So we'll see how it works out. I feel like, send them to Arsenal, let them, dry their tears with Kulusevski, if you will. All right, continuing on. I gotta think of something new to say instead of just continuing on, right? Di Marzio goes on to talk about Morata, saying that Barcelona want to loan Morata for 6 months with an option to buy. Atletico are asking for an obligation. Morata could stay at the club with Caio leaving in the next few days. So definitely we'll see what happens there with Morata if he were to go. They do want him. I don't know if that deal with Atletico will get done. But if Morata stays, it means Caio Jorge out. And I think that's really important. I think the next topic ends up covering my feelings on this, which is also Romeo Agresti goes on to say that basically if no one leaves, I would be very surprised if Caio stays. To improve, he has to play. I don't think that Juve will rely on Morata. Losing Dybala for free is not acceptable. He was to be renewed, and then we can reflect. Now let's put him next to Vlahovic, and then in June, it will be a different film. So basically, yeah, right now the focus for the striker room needs to be Dybala alongside Vlahovic. Those are your stars. Those are your firepower. Get it rolling with them. Get it going with them. Then we can worry about everybody else. Everybody else, you take a back seat. Sit down. Nobody cares. Except for Chiesa. When you come back, everybody cares about you. But everybody else, sit down. Sit down. But you bring in the likes of Caio Jorge last summer in that Mercado. You bring in youth to try to develop them, maybe to end up Valenza. But you end up trying to, make some money off of them, or try to make them be, what Caio Jorge is supposed to be, the next Ronaldo or the next Neymar or whatever nonsense is spouted out there. But I think at this point, yeah, you've got to get him some playing time. If it's not going to be for Juventus, somewhere else, another Italian team maybe, or somewhere else, we'll see how it goes. But I would definitely just make sure you're loaning him. I wouldn't sell him right away. I just feel like it's too early, and you obviously are not going to get a big enough return on your investment yet. So just on a loan, just a dry loan, whatever have you. All right, let's continue on. Corriere dello Sport is talking about Bentancur, his situation. We talked about Aston Villa. Which one is it? Somebody let me know. It's an English one, so I feel like I guess it should be Aston Villa, but I'm so used to going Villa, right? Anyway, Aston Villa are pushing to bring in Bentancur, but he prefers to stay at the club until the end of the season. So more likely, Bentancur will have the final say in this. Bentancur will stay at Juventus and be a part of this midfield. To my detriment or better, we'll see. He's had 2 good games, but that's 2 games out of however many Juventus has played so far. It's like 20-something, whatever. 2 games. 2. This many. He's had this many good games. So hopefully he continues to play a bit better. We'll see. But again, I think more than likely, maybe we'll end up seeing him make a move probably in the summer when they try to get rid of some of this quote unquote dead weight. And then some reassurance of some of the players that are key pieces for Juventus's future. And Romeo Agresti, and this is kind of if you go back just a couple months, a month and a half, kind of shocking, really, honestly. Let me know if you agree. But Romeo Agresti goes on, like I said, he's on fire today. He goes on to say a week ago, Paratici tried to get McKennie on loan, but Juventus closed the door as they liked the player. Weston and Locatelli are not for sale. So as it stands in the midfield, everybody else can go, but Weston, McKennie, and Locatelli are untouchable right now for Juventus. Those are two guys that they want to continue to build on. Locatelli, obviously, he just bought him in, right? But then Weston McKennie kind of shocks me. It was kind of surprising. I didn't expect him to end up being this critical of a figure, especially for Allegri, because it didn't seem like it was going to work. Now it seems like some of those wheels are starting to turn. So it seems like maybe Allegri and him have found that understanding. Maybe he stopped eating as much McDonald's or whatever have you. I'm not the guy to talk about that. But at the same time, I know a lot of people out here are criticizing him supposedly for some of his habits or whatever have you. Maybe he, stayed away from Pulisic. It's his sister. Anyway, to go on with that, though, McKennie seems to be riding himself with Juventus, doing well, hopefully also with the United States national team, and hopefully continue to grow and develop as a player. Would love to see him become something special at Juventus. It means a lot to me personally, obviously. We have a lot of Americans that are on this channel that tune in, so you guys got to be there right there with me when it's really cool to see your favorite club have somebody from your well, not your favorite country, but the country you live in be represented. I'll speak for you on what your favorite country is. Anyway, then finally, the last bit of news we have for you today. Who else would it be but Romeo Agresti, who goes on to say that Allegri will decide on Rovella and Fagioli, as well as for Ranocchia and Moretti. Juve should be using some of these players. So we'll see who gets brought in. Who knows, if any wrenches could be thrown in there when you have potentially, I laugh at this, but it could happen. The likes of Pogba and Frenkie de Jong coming in the summer, right? So who knows how many spots will be open for Rovella. Would Rovella stay on loan? I still think Rovella's a guy you bring in. He's an affordable option, a good option, or he's affordable because you own him, right? But at the same time, if you bring in a Pogba, you bring in Pogba in there. You got Locatelli, you got McKennie, you got Pogba, you got Rovella. That's a solid little room to move guys in and out of. And then you could also bring in potentially Fagioli, especially if you can move Aaron Ramsey if he finally gets off his bleep and leaves. Nobody wants you here. You for some reason don't want to go. I know why you don't want to go. Money. You want the money. You want to be able to continue making money doing nothing. Do you care about your career and your, shine as a player? No, I guess not. But anyway, as it stands, we'll see what happens. If we get guys like him move and Rabiot moves, whatever, you'll open up that room and really be able to boost it there with some of these players. I want to see how Fagioli plays during the international break there for the Italian national team. Does he set up some beautiful lobs to set up Balotelli to end up, making Italy really start clicking again? Right? Yeah, I know. I had to drop the Balotelli reference in there. We'll see. Also, of course, Ranocchia, Moretti seems to be what appears like to me the most talented player who could really have the most upside down the line. We'll see what happens there anyway. Let me know all your thoughts on all the topics we talked about today. Do you want Pogba? Obviously you want Pogba. If you don't want Pogba, maybe it's just the age thing, but you're still, I don't want to say you're out of your mind, but we'll see. And then we'll see. Do you believe any of the stuff when it comes to Frenkie de Jong and all that? When your boy Romeo Agresti is saying this stuff, stay tuned. Stay tuned daily, because you never know. Maybe tomorrow's the day that this new puzzle piece clicks into place, and we hear about a deal already agreed upon between Juventus and Pogba. Maybe. We'll see. Anyway, guys, that's all the news I have for you today. Let me go give you the announcement now, what I was talking about. If you were along for the live yesterday with Julian and myself, you already know about this. But now you know that basically we're doing another giveaway on the channel. This one's going to be really just out of my own goodwill, my own pocketbook. I want to give back to you guys, the supporters we have on the channel, the subscribers, the members we have, all that you all do, being here regularly, contributing with the chats and comments, hitting the like button, all that good stuff you do. I appreciate it. We love the community we're developing here. That's the reason that I really want to do this. By the fans, for the fans. What we want to do is really just create a community for those of us like myself who live in the middle of nowhere when it comes to Italian football. When it comes to calcio, there's nothing going on here. So what we're doing is we're doing a giveaway to celebrate the addition of our new star, right? Hopefully it'll be the next one of obviously bringing Dusan, the deuce is loose, Vlahovic to Juventus. So we'll be giving away a free, what's free? It's a giveaway, duh. A Juventus home shirt with Dusan Vlahovic's name and number on it. You guys can let me know, whoever wins can let me know if you want to decide to make it like a custom one, because it sounds like he may, if Morata stays, he might be a 7 or a 28 or something like that, and may switch to a 9 later. You let me know if you want it already custom done or however you want it done. But it's going to be a Dusan Vlahovic jersey we're giving away to one lucky winner on our channel. You have to be subscribed to the channel. So here's our parameters for it. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure you're liking the videos. And also, one way for us to really know is make sure you follow myself, Justin Sofro, on Twitter and Bianconeri Zone, and make sure when we send that tweet out that you liked and retweeted it as well. I know it sounds like it's a lot, but it's really not. Just make sure you're staying up to date, and we're going to give that away sometime at the end of February. I believe we have that final date. It's going to be knocked down. It's probably going to be a Thursday. It's probably going to be a Thursday near the end of February. So make sure you stay tuned. Make sure you're following us and doing all that stuff, and subscribe to the channel as well. Also, like I said, we'll have that posted out there. It'll be tweeted out, and you'll get that final date and all the information. So we're excited to hopefully be able to give back to you guys, our subscribers. So thank you for all that you've done. Also, it doesn't hurt if you want to consider joining our member squad as well. Thanks to all of our members are the reasons they have their badges by their name and all the chats and all the good stuff that they put up there. It's thanks to them that we're able to bring stuff to you like we do each and every day. Anyway, guys, I appreciate it. Hit that like button if you like the content that you saw today. Make sure you also subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. I'll see you next time. Forza Juve, Forza Bianconeri. The deuce is still loose.